welcome back to some more Lord of the Rings Online. I am back here in Duiland, and before I forget, I'm actually going to activate the stables this time. And it turns out that the elf prologue does not begin here. It begins in Celondim, which is further to the south. So let's head on over that way. Actually, there are some quests here. What is this? What is this cave? I think this is a festival-related thing, if I am not mistaken. Yeah, this is festival stuff, so not gonna worry about this for now. One day I'll cover all the quests for festivals and all that kind of stuff, but for now I want to get through as much of the main game content as possible. So let's head on down to the next elven city in Eredluin. And apparently that's where the quest hub is going to be, where I can get a ton of quests to do. And that's what we want. Yeah, we good. Can't be near an elf city and not have a waterfall. That's just part of the requirements. Alright, here we are. Pretty cool city, especially at night. I like the lighting effects here if you come in when the sunlight is not present. So as always, first things first, let's activate the stables so I can get back here if I need to. Alrighty. And then there's a bunch of quest rings around here, so let's systematically go through them.
You may be of service to me.
This is a beautiful land, is it not? I wandered it often in my youth, but places that were once fair have long since fallen into decay. Some of the older ruins have even become habitations for foul creatures that gnaw at the edges of our lands. My brothers and I have set ourselves to the task of cleansing a few of these places before we leave. To this end, I have in my possession a token given to me by Elrond Elven long ago. It is imbued with a light that creatures of evil find painful to bear. The ruins of Tham Galar to the west of Celondim have become infested with foul creatures. If you could slay any you find within and then place this token there, its light should keep them away from slinking back in the night. Okay. Do that. And now begins the part of the playthrough where I have to pronounce a bunch of elven names, which is not going to work.
Stay a moment.
This is a crafting quest, which I do not want right now. And this looks like to be a crafting area, so I'm assuming this quest ring up here will also be crafting. Indeed it is. I'm always getting trolled by these crafting quest rings. Let me go back down though and see if I can find any other quests. This is the guy I just talked to, right?
Might you spare a moment of your time?
Yes, it is. Is it?
Will you lend me your ear?
Yes, it is. Right, we do have somebody over here, though.
Greetings, friend. Will you lend me your ear?
Our time is closing in this land. Soon we will be but legend and memory to the mortals who will remain upon these shores. While we are still here, however, we must do what we can to ensure that these lands remain safe and beautiful. The preservation of the land is why I have come to the port of Celondim. My brethren and I have been looking into recent events in a glade to the north. I am here to enlist any willing to go there and assist us in discovering the source of an infestation of sickle flies among the trees to the west and southwest of the port. If you're willing, remove the threat of the sickle flies from the trees and report to Ovoras in Nenhilith to the southwest. Will do. And then we have one more guy over here.
You may be of service to me.
And there we go, she's the one that begins the prologue. As I said, I am sorry to intrude upon your reflection, but perhaps you can speak to Carnivore in Celondim proper. He seems quite worried about something, and, from what I know of the tales of your bravery, you may be able to help him. You may find him by the piers, not far from here. Okay. There he is.
The sorrows of the Eldar are never ending.
Ah, hello there. We may not have had time to get acquainted. My name is Carnivore. And you are?
Will you hear my sorrows?
I have heard that you are well-traveled. Perhaps you have seen my son Avorthal on your journey. I received a message from him saying that he was coming from Duiland to visit, but he has not yet arrived. That is most unlike him. In his journeys here, he oft speaks with the travelers along the road and visits the Vale of Nenhilith with a friend of his, a dwarf named Athel. Athel watches the road and helps a few of the dwarf travelers who come to Celondim. Perhaps Avorthal is speaking to him now and has simply forgotten the time. Would you seek him? Head across the woods southwest of Celondim to the Vale of Nenhilith. There's a small camp of elves there. If you do not find Avorthal there, perhaps you will find Athel. If so, speak to Athel and see what news he may have of Avorthal. Okay. Sorry, I just bumped my pop filter on the microphone, so you may have heard a funky noise. Alright, that's the crafting guy. Okay, I think that's most of the quests here for now. So, which way do I want to go first? Let's go this way. Let's go south. Let's go southwest out of here. Let's go look for this guy's son. It's quite worrisome. Looks like I am running straight to a dead end. That is indeed what I'm doing. Damn it. So I need to go west instead. Let's go this way. I think now we're good, but let's kill some of these harvest flies along the way, because I do need to kill 6 of them. Alright. Just one more. There we go. But let me continue making my way towards this corner. So we are finally at Nenhilith. Got some elf ruins going on. It's going to be a deed for that. Alright, we got some quest rings. This is good. So here we have the dwarf, but not the son.
Well met, friend.
Nay, I am still here waiting for Avorthal. He requested I meet him here at the Vale of Nenhilith and has yet to arrive. I meant to enter the Vale myself, but the elves bade me not to enter, and being that Avorthal is not here to speak for me, I dare not risk angering them. I am sorry that I cannot be more help to you or Lord Carnivore.
Come and stay a moment, friend.
It is not like Avorthal to be late, at least not without sending word, nor to put aside his usual habits. Still, he has spent much time in contemplation in recent days. When Avorthal desires solitude for quiet thought, he spends much time beneath the white trees in this vale. Perhaps he is amongst them now, unbeknownst to anyone. Would you go there and find him? I would, of course, but I shall not defy the will of the elves. Make your way into the Vale of Nenhilith and search for any signs of Avorthal. I pray that you find him hale and hearty, but if not, perhaps you will find some sign of him, even if just his pack. Then let's see what this guy wants.
Megovanen.
Megovanen, Lenin had you fighting back the sickle flies? Good. It has become necessary to drive them out of the forest, lest they kill the trees. Your aid will be welcome here, Kippen, and there is much to do.
Mind my words, traveler.
Your arrival heralds a time of hope. We have yet to discern what caused the wolves to empty into this valley. Perhaps with your assistance, we will soon learn the reasons behind this invasion. The two other Glade Wardens here, Glaverolin and I don't know, will explain the task that I set before them. See to their requests and earn their favor, and you shall have mine. Helhathel. I need to really work on learning my Elvish names here. Alright, so let's talk to both of them.
Mind my words, traveler.
Our efforts here are to recover the land from this new threat. That is clear. We are here also at the behest of our kinsmen. In Celondim, there is a vintner who wants to make only the final offering to store enough wine to survive our journey to the west. I have offered to recover enough wood to build such a cask. You will need to search for wood in the vale for wood. You will need to search the wood in the vale for wood that has not been spoiled by the sickle flies or the wolves. Return to me when you have collected enough sturdy pieces of wood, and I will grant you my favor.
Will you lend me your ear?
Megovanen, Warden, I overheard your discussion with Overloss, and hope that you are willing to assist us. This vale was once a place of inspiring beauty, where we could come and commune with nature. It has fallen far from those days since the incursion of these wolves. It is unclear where the wolves came from, or why they chose to dwell in the valley, but it is clear that they must be removed to ensure that the nature can return to its balance. Enter the valley and destroy the wolves to ensure the future of the valley. Return to me when you have completed this task, and you will have earned my favor. Yes, sir. So let's get some wood, kill some wolves, look for Avorthal, inspect this guy. He might be doing a deed here. There is a deed to kill wolves here in Eredluin, and this is the best place to do it. Do have a quest item though. Collared. Looking closely at this crude collar, you can see that this is not the handiwork of elves or dwarves. Perhaps Overloss will be able to discern some measure of insight from the collar. You should deliver it to him at the elf camp on the northern edge of Nanhilith. So before I go too deep into here, let me show him that collar. That might open up another quest for me.
What do you need?
I know this handiwork. It is the handiwork of goblins. We must inform the others in Celondim. If the goblins have grown this aggressive, then we must do what we can to drive them back from our homes.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
We cannot let another moment pass without informing others of the arrival of the goblins. Perhaps Lord Dorangur protection is weakening as we make our way to the shores to depart, or perhaps the enemy grows stronger faster than we expect. Regardless, Kippen, we must send word back to Celondim and my superior there. Quickly, return to Lainin, the Glade Watcher at Celondim, and tell him what you have found. You will find Lainin at the docks in Celondim, northeast of this vale. So yeah, it looks like this guy is working on the deed. Or I don't know, that's someone else. That is another warden. Wonder if that was the same guy that I was briefly in a fellowship with when I was killing those Hendravale back by Thrasi's Lodge. I need to keep getting some wood here. Need to start killing some wolves as well before he cleans out this whole place. Right. And I'm pretty sure he's killed every wolf in here, which kind of sucks because now I have to wait for them to respawn. It's very unfortunate. And what is this? Elf Satchel. That is not good. in our search. Avathal's satchel has been found. So now I just need to kill a few more wolves as soon as they respawn. Because some douchebags are killing all of them. Just need 3 more, man. There's usually so many wolves here, but if you hunt them out to extinction, then you're kind of screwed. Alright, 2 more. Then here's my last one. Alright, let's go turn some quests in. You guys just standing there. He's probably AFK. Alright.
What do you need?
Nature calls once again from the Vale. I can feel its course through my being. We cannot rest on this virtue, but you have brought hope where there was sorrow. Kippen, you have earned my favor.
How can I be of service?
Yes, this wood will certainly do. This should please the Cooper and the Vintner both. The white ships, will certainly now be supplied with the finest wine from arid Lewin.
What can I do for you?
You have done well here, Kippen. We have to keep vigil at Ninhilith. I think now you are needed elsewhere. We shall not soon forget all that you have done for us here in Celondim. Alright, so this guy... looks like there's another quest, but first let me talk to this one.
Well met, friend.
This is Avathal's pack, I am certain. I fear that something untoward has befallen my friend. Please take this to Carnivore and tell him that I will do whatever I can to help find my friend, his son. Alright, let's see what he wants.
Mind my words, traveler.
Now that you have collected the wood, I would ask for one more favor from you, friend. The Cooper in Celondim, Bregadur, needs some wood to craft us casks. I would also ask that you seek him out at the highest levels of Celondim on the tiers of the crafters northeast of this location. Deliver the wood to him so that he may build a proper cask. Alright. So let us continue back to Celondim. Oh, I think we're lagging here. A little bit of server lag. It's alright, we're gonna fight through it. No worries. Nobody panic. We're gonna be okay. Alright, so I think he's gonna be up here somewhere. We come in from this side. Because he mentioned he was at the highest levels, so... Right, he should be here. That is the crafting guy. What a troll.
Greetings to you.
More wood? Excellent. I have been kept busy enough to think I may soon need assistance. You have my thanks for this delivery, Kippen. This wood will serve nicely as a cask for fine elven wine.
Greetings,
Looks like he
friend.
also has another
Will you
quest.
lend me your ear?
Warden, if you were to take a moment, I have a request for you. A dear friend of mine, Breathawen, spends her days tending to the grapes at Limel's vineyard to the north and west. She sent word to me not long ago that she required a cask for a special wine that she wanted to present upon the white ships. I have crafted a cask for her, but need someone to take it to her since the preparations for her departure keep me very busy. Would you take the cask to her? You will find her to the north and west at Limel's vineyard. Alright, will do.
Hail, friend, and well met.
So, let me go talk to some other people down here. That is the crafting quest guy. I do not want to talk to him. But I do want to talk to these two elves over here.
Greetings to you.
This discovery is worrisome. I will see that this information is passed along to Lord Dorangur at Duiland. We never would have learned of this if it were not for you, Kippen. We are in your debt. All these names I gotta keep in my head, man.
My heart cannot sing today.
This is Avarthal's satchel. I am certain of it. Do you see the pattern on the side? Avarthal stitched that himself long ago. You bring me fell tidings, Kippen. You are sure there were no other signs of Avarthal? Some sign that my son might have been hiding nearby, safe from wolves or other dangers, but too far away to reclaim his satchel? Nay, that is a weak hope, and I must not trust it. Some foe has brought down my son, my Avarthal. That is the only answer.
Will you lend me your ear?
The goblins have slain my son, Kippen, and for that we will sweep them from Eredluin. No goblin will take as much as 3 steps into these lands before we are there to greet them with sword blade and arrowhead. Go forth and slay goblins wherever you may find them, and cry aloud the name of Avarthal. I would have the foul creatures know whose doom has come upon them. While you were gone, word came from me that Limel's vineyard has been defiled by the goblins led by a vile creature named Pamprosh. Seek out Pamprosh and his minions and slay them in the name of Avarthal. Limel's vineyard lies northwest of Celondim. Alright, let's go do that. Let's go to the vineyards. Maybe get drunk off some cheap elven wine. And kill some goblins while we're at it. I don't know how he jumped to the conclusion that goblins killed his son, when there was no evidence of that. In fact, it's more likely that he was killed by wolves, considering his satchel was found next to a freaking wolf pit. Well, who am I to blame? I like killing goblins, so we'll do that. Alright, so I need to cross the bridge first. And then I can get to the vineyards. Alright, I'm trying to take a shortcut here. Man, I need to start recording after this episode. I'm getting hungry. I need some food, man. Wish I could do Mexican food. I love Mexican food. I might do that. I might find a way to make that happen. Alright, we're almost at the vineyards. I just got ambushed by a freaking wolf. Might as well kill him. If he's gonna bother me, he might as well die for it. Right.
Greetings to you.
I only wish that this thoughtful gift from Bregudur did not arrive during such dire times. With the situation at the vineyard, I fear that the cask may go empty for our journey.
May Govanen, might you spare a moment of your time?
By this time of the year, most of the grapes have been picked and the wine already bottled. This was a very generous season, however, and many of the vines are still laden with grapes. I would welcome your assistance. Winemaking is not an easy work, but performing this task will certainly add to the appreciation of the wine you drink. Harder still when the nasty goblins find their way into the fields and drive you off. I think, though, that you might be sturdy enough to aid me. If you would, gather the grape from the vines that still hail in the are hardy enough, and I will see that the cask gets filled with the finest this vale has to offer. The vineyard is below us, and further to the west along the stone path. Be careful of the goblins, they are particularly nasty.
You may be of service to me.
My friend, I wonder if I can ask you to undertake a task for me. It is bad enough that the goblins despoil Limel's vineyard, but recently a party of wretched creatures broke into the old wine cellar and stole a number of flasks of a rare and ancient vintage. No doubt the evil creatures have already drunk or destroyed most of the wine, but if you can recover any of the bottles from the goblins in the area, I would be deeply in your debt. You can find the goblins throughout Limel's vineyard. I would not venture beyond into Rath Tayrag, however, as the goblins there are rather more dangerous. Okay, we can do all of those things. So let's head down. start killing some goblins. Alright. They're not so bad. So we got some grapes here. I wonder if I'm gonna have to use my nasty hobbit feet and step on the grapes to make the wine. You know what I'm talking about if you know anything about old school winemaking. Which I know nothing about, but I know what I'm talking about as far as crushing grapes with your feet. Because I always showed that in movies. Quite nasty, because I don't think this little hobbit has worn shoes a single day in his life. So I don't want to know what he's been stepping on. Right. Kill some goblins. Get some grapes. We can do all of those things. And then there's Pamprosh, the goblin leader. I'm gonna go kill him momentarily. It's so sad, little does he know that he is currently living the last few seconds of his life. He will soon be dead. Him and his little minions. Alright, there he is. Let me go get him. Alright, let me kill these guys. Right. Then, Mr. Pamprosh, you are next. You are dead. You are dead as hell. Alright, so let's go turn in some of these quests. Pretty nice little vineyard. Like how these goblins just took over the vineyards. You know they planned it out too. They're probably like, oh man, we need to go conquer somewhere new. Let's go get the vineyards. That way we can just drink cheap wine all day. And piss off the elves. Alright, let's give some good news to our friend here.
May gewonnen.
Ah, very good. You have done all that I could ask. Thank you for your efforts. Those wicked creatures will learn better than to raid the wine cellars in the future.
Sweelight Melon.
Very good, Kippen. Years from now, your efforts today will bring great joy to many. Hard work brings satisfaction. Not just in winemaking, but in all things.
Greetings, friend. Will you lend me your ear?
All filled and ready for delivery. I would like to thank you for your assistance, Kippen, as I would not have been able to see this last bit of harvest along without you. This cask is meant for another. However, I should like to see it sent along to my friend Brigadur. It was he who sent it to me after all. Why should he not have some of the finest wine in the valley? If you would, take this back to him at Celondim, follow the path to the east and turn towards the southeast across the bridge. You will find him at the crafters' markets. Alright, let's go turn in these last few quests. Then I think we're going to call it an episode because we're approaching the 30-minute mark. And I think that's a good length for videos. Every video I'm aiming for 30 minutes, but depending on how the quests are going and where I am along the storyline, it may fluctuate between 20, 40, who knows. But I'm always aiming for 30. Look at all these deer just chilling out. Carnivore is a very weird name. Every time I say it, I feel like I'm saying carnivore, which is not a very elvish name. Alright, let's give all this wine to Brigadur. That is not him. This guy has trolled me like 30 times this video with his stupid crafting quests. Thank you, Kippen, and thank my friend Brethelwyn for knowing my intentions. I understand that Brethelwyn was beset by goblins, and that you fought many of them off to obtain this spirit. Know that it was for a worthy cause.
Will you stay a moment?
Before you leave, Kippen, I have one more boon to ask of you. I promised a bottle of last year's vintage to a friend at Duiland to the north, and my labors kept me too busy to fulfill that pledge. I hope this has not inconvenienced her. Could you deliver this bottle to Duiland for me? The refuge lies on the road that follows the river north beyond Limael's vineyard. If you reach the dwarf port of Celondim, you have traveled too far north. Perhaps you should make use of the horse from here to Duiland. Alright, I may do that. So, let me head down and talk to our friend Carnivore. Again, this guy has a crafting quest. Okay.
Grey is the shadow of
What is this? Pamprosh said that my son still lives? Avorthal was not slain? My heart wants to believe, but believe the words of a goblin? Still, I cannot fathom why he would tell you this, even if it were not so. But if Avorthal is alive, then his capture does not bode well. I fear he will not live long while imprisoned by those outcast dwarves. They are no better than the goblins.
Might you spare a moment of your time?
You have done so much for me already, Kippen, but there is still much that must be done if my son is to be restored. We have not had dealings with the dwarves for a very long time, and those are not pleasant memories. You were at Helion, I believe. You remember Skogrim's final attack on the old refuge, yes? Dwarves are scheming and self-serving, not to be trusted. We must gather our strength and lay siege to the dwarves of Erluin and rescue Avorthal from the clutches, but only Dorangur Whitethorn, the master of Duiland, has the authority to muster such a force. Bring him the news of my son, that he is alive but a prisoner. We must strike at the dwarves before it is too late. Speak to Tauron at the stable before you go. He will hasten you upon your journey. Alright, so I think this is where the quests might merge. For the dwarf and the elf prologue, I'm not too sure.
Will you stay a moment and learn of my troubles?
Long have my brother and I dwelt upon these shores, and much have we seen in that time. Now the time has come for us to leave this place and sail into the west. My brother, however, does not see clearly and wishes to remain here. We have always dwelt together, and I could not consider a day of my life without his company and counsel. He is the cord which binds me to Middle-earth. While he is of mind to remain, I am forced to wait for him. If you would, go to Duiland and see if you can convince Rhaegar to join me here at Celondim. It is time we begin our journey. The refuge is north along the road. Alright.
How can I be of service?
So let us go to Duiland, but that is going to be left for another episode. So I hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching. Be sure to leave a like on the video, and if you're not already subscribed, be sure to do so for more awesome Lord of the Rings online videos, and also a bunch of other games. So I will see you in the next episode at Duiland. See you then.